Coming up, from bunions to debilitating soft tissue tumors, some of the most shocking foot transformations you'll ever see. Today, we're discussing a subject that not many of us like to focus on. Some say they are gross, stinky, maybe even a little taboo. But whatever we think of our feet, they're one of the most important parts of our body. So, you need to see this shocking footage of what could happen to your own foot if you're not paying attention to what's going on down there.
All right, let's take a look at your right foot.
This one's a little better.
Okay. Wow.
My toenails look like spaghettis. Some of them, the swirls. It's gross.
Does it hurt when I press on them?
That does. Even though they're so thick, they're so tender.
Right. Well, Michael, every step you take, they're probably lifting up.
They are.
It has to be brutal.
I haven't worn shoes in I don't know how long.
This one's curling completely under your pinky toe.
Yeah.
Do you feel yourself walking on that?
Yeah. Feels like pins and needles.
Like pins and needles? Oh, wow.
When you have toenails that are growing up and, out front, every step you take in a shoe, the shoe is going to lift the nail up. I mean, it's basically like you're taking a nail and pulling them off with pliers. It's torture. I mean, Michael's neglected his toenails for a long time. And in some people's cases, they just say, forget it, and they decide just to not treat it. And then it grows to the extent where Michael's is right now.
My goodness. Joining us now, one of the stars of TLC's hit show, My Feet Are Killing Me, Dr. Brad Schaefer. Those toes, that's a nail fungus, right?
No. Yeah.
What do you do with those? I've never seen them that grown.
So that was an extreme case, okay? When somebody, just a regular person, walks in, sometimes toenail fungus can just be in a corner, right? And you treat that with topical medications. Some people take oral medications to kill it. But in his case, unfortunately, he needed surgery to remove those toenails.
You took the whole nails off?
I actually took him into surgery and removed every single nail, all 10.
We're not going to show that footage, folks.
Yeah. That'll be on the show. That'll be on the show.
It's to spare our viewers anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so one of the most common and painful issues that affects about a third of adults, especially women, are bunions, which I know many of you have complained to me about. So define for everybody what a bunion is.
So a bunion is hallux abducto valgus, or HAV. So what you have there is when the bunion goes off to the side, the toe goes off to the other side, creating a big golf ball-sized bump. It can get red, inflamed, and extremely painful. And a lot of people just don't like the sight of them. So there's a big cosmetic, component to that.
Hard to walk on them as well. They can be very debilitating. I see people who do different activities, no matter what, whether you're in good shape, bad shape, you can still get these. So we built a replica.
Yeah, sure.
Dr. Osho style, a huge bunion, perhaps the largest you've ever dealt with, Brad.
Yeah, exactly.
I want you to show everyone your magic here. So,
okay.
So again, the basic arch structure is all intact. Explain it one more time with this model, what this bunion really is and how do you go about fixing it?
Sure. So look at this beautiful foot here, but we look at this bunion, and it's almost looks like an alien is protruding out the side of the foot. So when you have this red and inflamed bunion, which is painful, what this bone here does, it's called our metatarsal, this goes off to the side and kind of curves. Then this toe goes over to the other side, creating this mass. But ultimately, this is just this bone, which is your metatarsal head, which is literally poking through the skin.
Just so I'm clear, so this is not really a growth as much as it's this bone that being pushed outward. So it's the tip of the bone you have to deal with.
You're exactly right.
So I built you a model. Okay. Surgery here. I'll be your assistant.
All right, let's go.
I've always wanted to assist a podiatrist.
Okay, so you're my scrub tech right now. So if I'm, making an incision through the skin here, okay, and plugging it in there, and then this goes over here.
Well, there it is.
Yeah. So if I would take my scalpel and make an incision right down the side of the foot here, the bump sticks out. And what you notice here is this bump is part of this metatarsal bone, okay? So if you can give me my bone saw, Dr. Oz, please. Thank you very much. So this is the bone saw, and what we do is we make a cut right down through this bone. Then we remove the big bump. And that bump is what we were seeing here, that alien or golf ball appearance there. So then I'm going to take my bone saw again, and I'm going to make a cut down here in a V-shaped pattern, just like this. Once you make that cut, you can shift this bone over, hold it in place with 2 screws, and then that will relocate that bone from the side to now a straight toe.
I love this stuff.
Right?
It makes so much
It's
sense.
awesome. Feet are great, man.
But once you understand them, you stop fearing them. You start running away from them. The sacredness drops away a little bit. You can manage them.
Right.
Up next, my next guest could barely get around for one of the most uncommon and debilitating conditions Dr. Brad has ever seen. You'll learn more when we come back.
All right, Carly, so the next thing I want to do right now is just check your feet out. Okay. Okay.
We're back with Dr. Brad Schaefer. That's a clip from TLC's My Feet Are Killing Me about one of the rarest conditions Dr. Brad has ever seen. Your patient, Carly, has something called Proteus syndrome. Proteus syndrome? I've never heard of it before.
So it's called Proteus syndrome, and Proteus syndrome is a rare genetic condition, like extremely rare.
All right, so let's get a closer look at Carly's foot, okay?
Sure, let's go.
Come on up here. So walk us through what you're doing. This, again, if I were to see this in my office, I have no idea where to even start. So
Right.
explain. So this is all tissue overgrowth, right? Soft tissue?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And there are bone fragments in there, and
Exactly. So when you're born, you have an overgrowth of your skeletal, bones, tissue, and all of this stuff just kind of balloons out. This mass down here, that is part of the Proteus syndrome.
so how do you fix it? Where do you even start?
Well, look, it's very hard and challenging, and unfortunately, an amputation was the only answer for Carly, and that's called
Not of the whole foot.
not of the whole foot,
Right.
thankfully. So it was called a transmetatarsal amputation, and that was an amputation of the front of the foot. So this toe that you see here, which is that toe right there, is her big toe. It doesn't exactly look like that from this picture and our toes that we see, but that is all enveloped in all those masses, and that needed to be removed. So she was able to maintain a very good weight-bearing surface, and her quality of life right now is awesome.
Well, let's find out, because prior to her surgery, this is important. It was difficult for Carly to move around, but she's here in our studio today. Carly, come walking out. Let me see how you do. There's no limp even.
I'm just quick.
You're quick. You are. Were you always quick like this?
No, not that quick, but I moved around faster than people expected me to.
Give us a little background on how this mass came in your foot in your life. How did it hit you?
It hurt me every day. It felt like I was walking on broken glass. It was really hard to handle. And it got to the point where I couldn't even go on like a half-hour quick grocery run without just having to be completely done.
Could I see your foot now? Are you okay?
Yeah,
If you're
absolutely.
self-conscious, you don't have to, but if you're...
No, it's fine. That's...
So please describe it, because you're actually probably an expert on it now. It's a classic transmetatarsal
Amputation.
which looks fantastic to me, because it's healed nice. I see they rolled the bottom.
They did.
The tissue up here.
There used to be a huge lip on the bottom of my foot. I always called it the shelf because it looked like a cliff. It was crazy. So this is the flattest my foot has ever been. So that's really nice too.
So how has the operation changed your life? Are you able to go shopping for a half hour? Are you able to come home
Yes.
with your husband, your boyfriend a hard time?
Yes, I am very good at giving people a hard time. I'm a little sassy. But yeah, we go grocery shopping together. I move around a lot better. I don't need his help getting up and down the stairs. Like, I'm able to participate. I can clean my whole apartment in one go. Like, it feels really good to be able to do the basic things that people take for granted. You know, that sounds kind of sad. Like, I don't know anyone else who's grateful that they're able to scrub their shower.
Right.
But I am. Because I wasn't able to stand and do it before.
I can see how important a factor this has become for you. I know you wanted to say something to Dr. Brad. Go ahead.
I did. I don't think you understand how much you've actually helped me and how much better that I feel and how grateful I am that you did everything you could when others wouldn't. And that means more to me than, like, anyone's ever going to know.
Well, thank you. You know, you were one of the best patients that I've personally ever had. My heart went out for you. Just seeing you walk down the stairs on the video, you couldn't even walk down the stairs from your apartment complex. You know, I was happy to help. I mean, you deserve it. Seriously, you deserve it, Carly.
Dr. Brad, thanks for your surgical skills and congrats on all your success.
Thanks, Dr. Oz.
You can catch lots more of them and lots of these incredible cases on My Feet Are Killing Me. It's Wednesday nights on TLC, or catch up on the previous seasons on Discovery Plus. Be right back.